All right, let's take a look at last week, or the cumulative up to through week 10. It's not just last week. This is cumulative 1 through 10. Again, love the symmetry. To your, I guess, my left anyway, you have in first place Buffalo, second place Dallas, and then look at that third place team, Ben. That third place team was the reason that I chose the intriguing game of the week, last week's game.
Okay.
On the opposite end, you have the Jets, Houston, Detroit, all of those teams that are vying for that first round #1 draft pick at this particular point. I'm not saying they're going for it. I'm not saying they're throwing any games, but when they start to talk about who's who in terms of placement for that pick, these are the names that you're saying right there. Now you know why, ladies and gentlemen. You take a look at the net point rankings again. These are average numbers. We usually deal with gross numbers until the bye weeks. So, like for example, if you took a net point of 10, and this is the 10th week, so it's really like a gross number of 100. In terms of how far they are above everybody else. So these bar charts would be a lot, would represent a larger number for sure. But we're doing averages because we have bye weeks and we want to keep everybody equal as much as possible. All right, Ben. So with 32 teams, we normally look at the top 8, but we're going to throw number 9 in here just for GP purposes. We're looking at ANP, average net points, APF, average points for, APA, average points against, and our friend Todd averaged out Todd, average turnover differential. So right off the bat, as you go across that #1 spot, your favorite AFC team, the Buffalo Bills, with a plus 16.1 average net points. Average points against, they're only giving up on average 15 points a game, and they're taking the ball away 1.6 times on average per game more than they're giving it up. The only place that they're getting that big challenge right now is that Dallas team, who really ran up the score last week. I mean, there was a certain point where they was going for 2, and I'm like, is this practice, or is they really trying to embarrass these guys, or just what's going on here? Because it was already like 30-3 or something. But that's what they did. So they took that first place. The big surprise again, and I call it a surprise, but it's something that we've had our eye on because we see the ascent. We see this team moving from, a team that was coming in maybe in the lower third, starting out, until they got it together. And the next thing you know, they're in the top half. And next thing you know, they're in the top third. And right now, the New England Patriots, average net points 9.8, is ranked 3rd in the NFL on net points. They're 6th in scoring at 27.5, but they are 2nd defensively at 17.7 points per game that they are allowing. And the only place, let me see, they're not in the top 9 in terms of turnover differential, but I don't think that they have a big problem in that area. So there's your top 3, man. What do you think about that?
Well, I think I predicted a week or so ago that New England would begin to rise. Reminding everybody that average net points is the difference between average points for and average points against. And I knew, if nothing else, that the New England defense would definitely make a dent in that average points against. Little did I know that Mac and Cheese would come out and throw for 3 touchdowns this last week, which helped them even more. Okay. But yes, the ascent of the New England Patriots was kind of expected, as was the descent of New Orleans. I think you'll see them eventually fall out of contention as far as the top 8 or 9 is concerned. Rams took a little bump there, but yeah, top 3, I'm happy with that top 3. I'm sure the Arizona Cardinals and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are not happy about it, but they got work to do.
They got work to do. One of the, we talked a little bit about in the beginning how strange this season has been, especially recently. And one of the teams that seems to have been woven throughout the strangeness of the season is the New Orleans Saints. Kicking it off, as we said, with them just beating the pants off of the Green Bay Packers, and then finding themselves in all types of ups and downs from that point on. People beating them, you're not sure they're beating people, you're not sure that they're going to beat who. But they're coming in at 6. Tennessee, a lot of people think Tennessee is the #1 team in the AFC. Net point wise, nope, they're number 7. And the Rams are behind them at 4.4. So that rounds out the top quarter of a 32 team league. And then we threw in Indianapolis, that 9th place, where Cincinnati's coming in. Seattle slipped in on defense. They're giving up 20.7 points per game, and they slipped in on average turnover differential. Look who's ahead of Seattle, Ben.
What, in turnovers? That's not surprising.
Yeah.
Not surprising.
Playing it right between Seattle and Dallas, much less.
Right. Dallas, who everybody's praising the young kid Diggs, who has 8 interceptions at this point of the season. Well, let me put it this way, because I tell you what, real quick, I've been getting a lot of conflict. I've seen dirty, nasty arguments about Trayvon Diggs. People are calling him a bum who gets burnt, which happens when you're a DB. And people are saying he's the next best thing to freaking Dion. It's insane. It's way out here. It should be right here, but it's way out here. He's a young, fast defensive back who's feeling his way, and he's had a little bit of luck, but he's also got really good hands and a whole lot of speed. So he's going to make plays. He's going to get beat. And sometimes he's going to get beat badly. But guess who else gets beat badly? Jalen Ramsey, who people were saying, oh, he's no Jalen Ramsey. What happened to him this week? People really need to pump the brakes a little bit on some of these young players, man. Just let them play. Let them ball. Root for your team. Watch good football games and enjoy them. And stop trying to rank people so much. We're having a tough enough time ranking the teams. You know what I mean?
Let me say this much, Ben, and I made this point on one of my rankings. We don't rank these teams.
Well, yeah, I understand, but you know what I mean.
Our system simply puts them in that position where we go on by net points. But I understand what you're saying.
That is true, but you know what I'm saying. In
other words, that's one of the reasons why we do it that way. Because you're trying to compare this. Think about this. Look at what he has going for him now in his linebacker and D line. He's got Michael Parsons. Michael Parsons is creating all types of havoc. If there's somebody's going to make a quarterback throw the ball a little less effectively, a little bit more on the errant side, and you might have a chance to go get that thing. He got people in front of him that's helping him. So as a team, you got to give it to them. They've improved themselves as a defense tremendously.
But that's the point I'm trying to make. And I shouldn't have said we have trouble ranking the teams. We have enough trouble analyzing the rankings and how we see them and how we expect them to go, or why we think they are the way that they are, besides the fact that just the raw numbers put them where they are. Okay.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it.
Look at it the way you just explained it about Parsons and the pass rush and this and that. They only look at individuals. And that's a bad way to watch football, if you ask me. Now, folks have their own way of doing things, but why rankings are so important to folks nowadays, I don't understand. I think that should be left for, you want to rank people, you got to bring in old school guys and different eras and stuff like that. That brings on all different other kinds of arguments. But this kid's only been in the league. Come on, it's crazy. Give him a chance to grow.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it. No doubt about it, man. I mean, I was just trying to take a quick look here defensively for the Cowboys, because again, last year, as I remember, and when I have this information, the Cowboys,
They were abysmal.
were abysmal. Okay, so I'm just pulling it up. Let me go down, 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 down. The Cowboys are coming in 32, 31, 30, 29, 28th. And net points. Oh, sorry, no. Defensively, points against. That's what we're looking at. Opponents' points per game, 28th. At this particular point in 2021, they're 10th in points.
Right. And
So
I would like to give a shout out to Dan Quinn, who has basically turned a freaking horrible defense into a very respectable defense, pretty much single-handedly over the course of one season.
which over the course of one season is not necessarily easy. I mean, a good coach, that's
Not easy at all.
So that's good.
And they've taken their lumps. They've taken their lumps. They haven't been dominant, but they've had dominant performances.
And they just improved. You know, you can just see they're playing better.
Well, they're obviously better than they were last year.
All of their stats are better. You know, all their analytics have improved. I'm just joking.
You got to say that word like every day, don't you?
Yes, I do, man. Yes, I do. Yes, I do. As I bow to the statue of Cynthia Freeland, the top analytics expert for the NFL. I just think that's hilarious. Anywho, let's get ready to look at the real drama that's coming up this coming weekend.